So yes, some of you have been asking, what happened with your bicycle? I mean, you had a blue Santos and now suddenly you've got a white idworx. What happened there? And I was thinking of making a video about this bike for a while, but I really wanted to try it out. So like, what happened? What happened with the Santos? So first of all, what happened to the Santos? The thing is, I was borrowing it, the bike, same as this bike. I just got it to test it and then I kept it for quite some time. I mean, it was a nice collaboration. It was really cool. The thing is, the owner of idworx reached out to me by someone I know. He was kind of looking for a rider to test it. I thought, okay, I try it for a while. Straight away, there were a few things that I really liked of the idworx bike. But with the Santos, there were a few little issues. And I mean, they're really good bikes. Not saying anything bad about it. But my bikes do get like, well, I don't always treat them as well as I should. I mean, they go in like, you know, more than average in trains, in planes, and they get a lot of nasty things happen to them. And one of the things, like I take the front wheel out a lot because when I put it in my car and stuff, and it was with the Santos, it was kind of hard to put the wheel in straight. And also a lot of times the disc brakes moved and then I had to adjust them. And then when it was all fine, I had to take the wheel out again. And yeah, so I got this bike to test it. And I found out there is this, the owner thought of a great way that you can put the wheel in and out. And I mean, this is just a really small thing and it's something that shouldn't be that important when you buy a bike. But for me, it is. And there's all these little things in this bike that I loved. But yeah, the reason also why I got in contact with idworx is that last year Santos got pretty big. They've got some more investors coming in. When I got in touch with them, there was a lot of contact with the owner and the people worked there and they shared my videos and it was, you know, working two ways. It got harder to keep in touch with them. And then I had these small issues and it didn't really get solved. And I don't know, yeah, it was just that moment that idworx reached out to me. It was a perfect moment. And I thought, yeah, let's just try something new. So the owner of idworx is Gerrit Gaastra. And his father is the guy of Koga. You might know it. It was called Koga Miyata for a while. And that was actually one of my first bikes. I got a second-hand Koga and with that I cycled the west coast of America and I cycled different places. And I don't know, Koga was always something for me like, wow. But Koga went to a huge company now and you know, it's not owned by Gaastra anymore. But for me, the family Gaastra is for me still a special name because of that Koga. And actually the grandfather of Gerrit, he's the one who developed Batavus, another famous Dutch brand. So it's a real cycling family. And yeah, I thought, let's try something new. I do really like it. Yeah, so first of all, Gerrit said, I think you need a bike that's a bit more sporty. And I was like, okay. Yeah, you're more sporty, I think. I don't know, that bike you have doesn't really suit you. And I mean, there's loads of models. Also, Santos has a lot of different models. But yeah, I had a model that's, yeah, I don't know. But I don't know. Gerrit said, you need one with a bit more character. So he picked this bike, BLT, with really wide tires and kind of hardcore. And I was like, I don't really need that, do I? I mean, I try to cycle as little as possible on a day. I like to take it easy. I'm not that sporty, am I? Cycling in the heat, I guess it's a thing. You have to work a bit more climbing. Whew. But what I didn't think of is that, okay, a lot of times I do cycling routes and then I go on easy, nice cycling lanes. But a lot of times the routes are not finished yet. You end up on these nasty roads. You end up in the middle of nowhere on a sandy path. Going down, easy, going down, yay, yoo-hoo! Yippee, yoo-hoo! And yeah, I noticed when I was doing all these cycling trails, I was paying a bit more attention on it. Like, you end up a lot of times on surface that's not so comfortable, you know? It's not always nice tarmac. You end up on, like here in Schoonhoven where I live, you have the cobblestones. Then in France, I did a few cycling tours, and one of them wasn't finished yet, and we ended up on this path with trees and stones and mud everywhere. And I thought, wow, I actually like this bike because I was able to go on. Because you have a bit more, you know, those white tires, and there's a titanium seat post. The handlebar is a flex bar. They both absorb shocks. I got pain in my shoulders and neck quite quickly, and it's just, you can feel, you're more like, when the road isn't so good, you're like jumping up and down, and it's yeah, really absorbing the shocks. So, and then I thought, well, the white tires, that must be like kind of annoying on tarmac. It will really slow you down, but it doesn't. Like, the thing is that Gerrit actually works together with Schwalbe. He develops the Motion tire. You might know that one. Pretty known. I used that before I had this bike on the Santos. I had Motion tires, and also I used it on the Koga. But yeah, it's actually very easy. I've used the bicycle in the Netherlands, in France, in Ireland, in Germany, in Belgium. So the name BLT actually stands for boulders, logs and trees, and that's the trail Gerrit used to do when he lived in Vancouver in Canada, the Cypress Mountain. I cycled near Vancouver, but haven't been there because he's a mountain biker, and this model is kind of in between. I mean, it's a hybrid bike, but it's leaning a bit more towards the mountain bike. There's just these little details that are really practical. I mean, one of the differences between Santos and idworx is Santos, I think it's a smart system they come up with, that you can choose your color. You can do that the same at the idworx, but Santos really promotes that you can change the color of the letters, and you can change the colors of your dynamo, and it's all really, really funky. And idworx looks bit more to the practical things. Like, for example, I think Gerrit, he could be pretty stubborn. So, for example, loads of bike brands are putting the belt on, and he isn't. He still likes chain. Yeah, you can choose the belt, but he prefers the chain. And then people are like, why? Why chain? And yeah, it's just, I have to say, I like the feeling a bit more. With the belt, you can always, it's a different feeling. It's hard to describe it, but you can always feel it a little bit rubbing. There is this feeling in it, and a chain, I do think it goes a bit smoother. It just goes, and it's if it's clean, it doesn't make as much. It's more quiet as well. And of course, if you have a problem, you can fix it. He stays with the things that really work. And why would you change? But on the other hand, he came up with a few things that are just so handy, like taking the wheel out. That was really a nightmare for me. Also, the bike is actually pretty light for having so many features, because these kind of bikes, a lot of times they're around 20 kilos. This one is only 15.5 kilos. Yeah, I can really notice that, because I don't just, as I said, I don't just use it for cycling. I put it in trains and stuff like that. And sometimes you have to lift it up when there's a tree in the way, you know, fallen tree on the path. So it's good that it's quite light. I went this time for Pinion with 12 gears instead of the 18 gears. I haven't really used it much in the mountains yet, but I did use it on that nasty hill where I lost my drone in France. So we have to go to the hill. Going up the first little bit. And I know it's going to get steeper. So then I didn't really miss having the 18 gears, because there's, yeah, the steps are a bit bigger, but you still kind of have the gears you need, the light ones and the heavier ones. And it makes the bike lighter. And I have a USB charger that is connected to my dynamo. It's a different one. Before I had a forums ladder, and this one is the plug. What I like of the plug is it's a bit stronger. It has a USB-C connection. Forums ladder only had a plastic thing you can put in it, but I always lost that. So I go wet inside, and then I wouldn't charge my phone. This one you can close it. And so far it's been working all the time. I did have to get used to the posture, my posture on the bike. I'm pretty petite, The Santos bike, my steering wheel was a bit more close by for me. This idworx bike is a bit longer, the frame is longer, so I have to bend a little bit more. That's one of the reasons I might change the steering wheel. The good thing is that because the frame is a bit longer, I'm actually able to fit 2 water bottles on it. And on the Santos I only had 1 water bottle, and I can even have my extremely thick lock on it. Pretty happy with this bike, and I'm going to use it a bit longer. In January I probably will visit the factory, which is in Germany. I've been there once before. Yeah, so a Dutch guy, but he's based in Germany, and he said the best technicians are in Germany. I know, that's what he says. So that's why he's based there, but pretty close by to the border, the Netherlands. So I will go there soon and make a video then, explain a little bit more about the parts of this bike. If you have any questions about anything, just, you know, write them down here below and I will answer them. And next week is going to be a cycling vlog. Meanwhile, actually, there's a whole bunch of musicians there. It's crazy, in Christmas clothes. Okay, that's cool. Going to have a look there. And then go home because it's pretty chilly, man.